Have you ever followed someone in real life or on social media and come to regret it? Come to realize that the things that they stand for or stand against are things that you just cannot agree with? Have you ever followed someone there as your leader? You've actually followed them and come to realize the things that you've been attracted to are just a thin veneer over a layer of fake or worse. I think we probably all have. And it can leave us feeling anything from frustrated to humiliated, from disappointed to devastated. Because we get associated with them, and if they're standing for stuff that we just don't agree with, then people might think the same of us. And also because before long you can find yourself believing some stuff that just doesn't sit right with you. So what do you do about that? Well, I think obviously the wise thing would be to work out what people stand for and against before you choose to follow them, and look at the fruit of what sort of person they actually are, not just, one or two things that they've said. And what we shouldn't do is we shouldn't judge someone by the most extreme comments of their followers. You know what I'm talking about, like some of the people that I follow and that I truly believe in, that stand for the right stuff, and sometimes the comments made by other people on their posts are just so far away from the original post, or they're just hijacking it for their own purposes, or they're just wrong. And so if we judge people by the most extreme comments around them, then we're probably just misjudging them. We should just go back to who they really are and what they're saying. And when it comes to matters of faith, I think that's even more important, that we are careful. We go, what do we believe in if we're believing in this stuff? And if you're thinking about whether to be a Christian or not, well then what you need to work out is whether you want to follow Jesus and what Jesus stands for and against. And again, I'm just going to say one of the things that you probably shouldn't do is take notice of the most extreme views of his followers. Or take notice of it, but don't judge Jesus by that. Because let's be honest, there are some people who call themselves Christians who I just can't understand how they do, because the things that they stand for and against, I just can't understand how they get that from what Jesus has to say and what Jesus stands for himself. But I guess that's not news, because one of the reasons that Jesus came was because the people who'd been God followers up to then were just getting it so wrong, and they'd started changing everything that was about a relationship between God and people to being a religion that was about oppressing people and controlling people and putting rules and regulations over and above people. And Jesus came and debunked that stuff. Said that's not what it's about. That's not what God stands for. So if you want to know what Jesus stands for, I recommend what you do is actually go back to the words of Jesus and to the life of Jesus. Don't take notice of the most extreme stuff of his followers. Open up the Bible. And if you don't own a Bible, you download a Bible app. That's what I use most of the time anyway. Download a Bible app and read the stuff from Jesus onwards, because the other stuff needs to be understood in that context. Read what Jesus has to say. What you'll end up working out is that what Jesus stands for is not rules and regulations, is not judgment and you must do it this way. Yes, he stands for sometimes saying, there is a better way, but he stands for loving people into a better way, of believing in people and their ability to become more than what they are. Jesus stands for seeing people for the potential of what they've been made as and helping them to get there. There's this thing about if you're allowing Jesus' Spirit into you, you can tell that because the fruit of that is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control. Jesus stands for things and stands against things. And if you take notice of the things that he stands for and against, not that of the most extreme of his followers, but what he stands for and against, I think you'll actually agree. So today, can I just encourage you, whether you're a Jesus follower or not, have a look at the stuff that he says. Have a look at the stuff that he stands for and against. Make your own judgment. Choose whether you're going to follow him or not. I choose to follow him because I believe in what he says and much more, but I'll explain that some other time. But make your own mind up. Choose Jesus.